Julie and Barbara from Ohaupo Primary School.
I'm Julie Gray from Ohaupo School. We have been looking this year at learning driving the technology. Like Ross Tudor said earlier on, it's important that we use the technology as tools, but the learning has to come first, and which is the best tool to actually promote that learning and what you want to actually achieve. So we had a big decision to make at the beginning of the year, our school, and we decided that the finance that we would probably put towards going to learning at school and you learn we weren't going to do this year. We felt as a school, there's only 8 staff in our school, and we're only a small school, we felt that we needed our own development on some of the things. We've been to learning at school, we've been to them for a few years, we've got a lot of information, but we wanted hands-on application. So we thought we needed to actually develop our own skills to be able to put that out for the children. So we decided to get support in professional development in our school with an ICT coordinator that we've had right the way through the year. So we've been able to develop a lot of new strategies, new skills, user tools by having that support. We didn't have that before, and it's just been great to have that support this year, and it's made us feel more comfortable in the fact that we had somebody to go to. I mean, we talk to each other, we do help each other out, we're all at different stages of our knowledge of technology, and it was just great to have somebody to go to and say, right, we want to try this, you know, how do we go about it, what do we do? And we're still on a learning journey. We've only just started, we've had this year, but we must continue that on. It's still a continuing journey. So we were unanimously voted by the staff felt they wanted to develop their own individual needs, which varied, and they wanted a practical approach with the children in a class environment, so we could actually have that ICT coordinator help us within that classroom role as well. So if we did get into difficulties, if we didn't understand certain things, we could work together. We've just got something here where Amy will do the link. I don't think the sound's on.
Tune it up a bit. Volume switches behind you.
Sorry.
It's not plugged in. Oh, it is plugged in.
And they need to transfer their skills, so like using the narrative structure and then taking what they know of that and putting it into a program through ICT, and realising that if they don't have that base that we have done in the classroom, it means that the other stuff doesn't work so well. Also means that not just using one program and then moving on to the next program and moving on to the next program. We've used Storymaker for most of this year, and they are able to go back and reflect on things they've done well at and things that they've not done so well at, so that they can go back and improve those next time.
Sorry, I should have shown that before, shown that with the juniors. The juniors, well, I put it into 3 spaces, the juniors, the middles and the seniors. It goes right across the school, and they use photo features, photo stories, and tools about children's building sequence, events and the stories Amy's just explained. And then to write a relevant caption about each photo, which is appropriately to retail. Now, Amy started off with the program, but then she used it to develop skills in that program. So it was actually not just using it and saying, oh, we've had a go at that, that's it, let's put it away. We actually used it to actually get to really know it and to develop all the skills and what can actually come out of it. So as they went further, their actual language improved. Storymaker and Storybird were other tools to help the children to understand the narrative genre. They had to make decisions and choices to make the story have continuity and sequence in place. So if we were looking at sequencing a story, that was a great tool to actually do it. It was very visual, but it was something that they worked with. They just didn't try it once and say, that's it, we've done that. They actually worked the program to actually get the learning that they wanted from it. Oh, sorry. This is Jack talking about what he's done. Now, he's a low learner. He's of low ability, but he's actually going to put forward about what he did, what Storybird came out for him.
Jack, what do you like doing in computers?
I like story.
make a story as a cat.
Nice.
And what did you and Lucas got to do?
We got to print it out and publish it and make it as a book.
So it's actually doing it for an audience as well. That was one area in the writing area that it's always difficult to find an audience to write for. So it's great that it sort of spurred them on, that they could use this tool as actually as an audience and doing it in assemblies and things like that. So with the middles, they developed the protocol of using the Ultranet to make it a learning tool rather than a Facebook type approach. We've started developing the use of the Ultranet. We found that they weren't using it in a learning environment. They were actually using it more like, especially the older children, were using it like sort of for Facebook, and it wasn't for that. It was for the learning. It was actually being how we had to teach the children how to actually comment on their learning. It was for a learning tool. It was a sharing tool. It was not just a social tool. So we had to actually teach what good comments look like. So we had to pull a rubric together to say what good comments look like, to enable the students to comment on each other's work in a meaningful way. And later on in the slides, we'll have Mr. Harrop actually talking about that. And to enhance their inquiry learning through presentation and transactional writing, they developed the use of PowerPoint. Students have the opportunity to share their learning with a wider audience, and this increased motivation and improved the quality of the writing. It's something we've been looking at, is actually getting to think of a wider picture than just themselves for writing. It's actually sharing and actually thinking about what quality they've got to get out to a wider world. So I've got just, oops, sorry.
I had it all down.
Sorry, I don't do
We understand. Neither do I. PCs. Are you PC illiterate, Barbara?
Absolutely.
Me too. You've to hold your head the right way.
My class did storybirds to help with sequential writing. The first storybird they did, I got captions and I was really disappointed. But after a discussion with the children, we came to the conclusion that that was a book suitable for preschoolers. So the challenge then became to choose pictures and write sentences suitable for a 6 to 7 year old, and then when they did their third storybird, to make it suitable for somebody their age, which was in the 8, 9, 10 year level. And I found that way I was getting far better stories and starting to use punctuation than just saying "brr" to the captions.
And we've got sort of a child from the middle that's going to explain as well what she actually personally got from it as well, to the learning.
Storybird helped me with my describing words, the topic, stay on the same track with the topic, and the audience that I'm writing to. And if I was writing to a younger audience, I would need to use easier words for them to understand the story, and if I was writing to an older audience, say seniors, I would use words that they would use.
So the seniors, we actually went one step further in the fact that we introduced individual emails. We've never had this before. And with doing that, it enabled them to access Google Docs and create their own class blog. So they were taking some steps further that we hadn't actually done in the school before. And we wanted to, again, improve their writing and have it for a purpose. We still found that was something that was really important, and it actually enabled us to do that. And with Google Docs, they could share ideas and collaborate. And again, it was a way of where they had to think that I'm just not writing for myself, so it doesn't matter what I actually put down on a piece of paper. They had to think in a bigger area. So we also introduced Study Ladder, because we wanted to consolidate some of the learning with home and school. And this was a good tool because they all had computers at home, things like that. So it was a way of actually putting that relationship between home and school and directing some of the learning that goes on there as well, and they could actually share. And it also, Study Ladder gives the opportunity for parents, if they want to take it one step further, they can actually subscribe to it as well, and they can actually work with the children. It's putting that learning sort of environment within the home as well, but it's linking with the school and what they're actually learning within school.
Google Docs is, we have our own emails, and each student gets their own email, and then we're gonna go onto it, and you can like put your stories on it and show other people your work, and you can see other people's work onto it too. And you can other people can help you by saying that maybe you should add a bit more, and you can see other people's work and help them, and you can chat onto it about your schoolwork. And our blog is where we can see what other classrooms are doing and what roommate is doing as well. And we can put our stories on it. And it helped me learn by looking at other people's stories and comparing it with my own and seeing what I can do different. And you can't just put notes and stuff on it because everybody can see.
The idea of the blog was as well, because we are only a small school and we are a rural school, we don't get many opportunities. We sort of get insular. We don't actually get out there and see what's going on in other schools and what other children are doing their own age. They sort of get this is my little school and just going along. So it's great that with the blog that they've been able to actually look at other schools and look at other children's work at their own age and actually see what other interests that other children can have. And it's just broadening their thinking. So, so I'll just speed it up quickly. So the outcomes came really with sort of the senior classroom teachers need to improve the knowledge on how digital technology and alternate pages rather than just publishing pre-written work. So basically we just wanted to improve our schools. We wanted to improve the learning with the children and not just use it just for the sake of, go on the computers, just get on with it. The learning had to come first. The junior classroom teachers, we all had to do our own professional developments as well. Teachers had to learn how to hyperlink websites and activities so that we could support the classroom programme within home and doing it on the Ultranet. Like I said, our school had a wide variety of knowledge with the teachers. The teachers need to become more proficient in understanding tools and technologies available, and also how to embed so that we could get that learning across the curriculum. And teachers have to develop the skills in the alternate pages. We found out when we came to a course here a few weeks back that we have a long way to go with the alternates. We're only tipping the iceberg, and our learning is going to carry on next year, both with the children and with the students. So it is a learning curve. So what might be that one? We'll just move on for about 2 minutes. So the challenges, basically, what we've got to do is we've got to look at our budget. We've got to look at what barriers we've got. We've got to be able to see, some schools have iPads. We can't. We don't have the resources at the present moment in time. We have to look at now what we can budget for, what we actually need. But with our improved knowledge, we can actually make probably more informed decisions as a school and a staff. We've also made time to actually, because time was a factor being a small school, we seem to have many roles. Time was a factor to actually get time to do the ICT stuff, and we also needed help from other colleagues and everything, so we actually put it into staff meetings. We have a set time now in our staff meetings where we do work on the alternate. We do things and we talk and we discuss on areas that we need help with, or we might want practice with, or we're not sure what we're doing with what technology. And just sharing ideas as well as a staff. We share what works, what doesn't work, what we can try. So we're just having a journey in our school, just moving forward. It is a learning journey, not just for the students, but also for the teachers.